Okay, people. So, Jagged Mind, right? This is the new film from Kelley Kali. It's written by Allyson Morgan. The film is produced by Daniela Ruiz, R.B. Pedrosian, uh, Conju E, Gina Cavell, David Brooks, and Kelley Kali. It is executive produced by Miles Alva, Allyson Morgan, and Carl Reed. John Rick Bontemps handles the music. Raza Partin, cinematography. Salvador Perez Garcia edits the piece. Brittany Ward is on casting. Angele Malv, art direction. Costume design is Lena Palascos. Hair and makeup, we've got Natalia Britan, Manuela Franco, Nicole Martinez, Daniela Perez, Robin Rant, and Francis Suaz. Production management, we have Brenda Blair, Joey Grimmer, and Tanny Page Schuler. Now, our cast. Well, we have Maisie Richardson-Sellers as Billie. Shannon Woodward is Alex. Christine is played by Rosalind Elba. Kim is played by Kate Seskley. Papa Juiced is played by Jimmy Jean Louis. We have Denise, played by Brandy Hoosie. Jake, played by Benjamin Valenzuela. Melissa is Lauren Swan. Kelley Kali jumps in as a hostess. The barman we see a few times is Lamar Usher. Rose is played by Cheyenne Montpellier. Dr. Ortiz is Casey Ford Alexander. And we've got Harsh Milan and Sidri Barboza, also small little parts. Now, the gist of the flick is this. Billie is plagued by blackouts and strange visions that lead her to discover she's stuck in a series of time loops, possibly related to her mysterious new girlfriend. Not exactly it, right? Not exactly it at all. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, she's got the blackout. She doesn't know anything until certain clues lead her to certain conversations, which then opens it all up. Right? When I first got sent this, right, I thought it was like a vampire story, you know? I don't know. There's something about the poster, just looks dark and mysterious. And I thought it's a vampire flick. So I'm just like, yo, I hope it's a good one. Right? We've had some with potential, like shit, what was it? I think it was Night Shift. Oh, there was two, I believe, on Netflix. There's one Night Shift. I feel there was one something Teeth that was real stylized, right? About a guy, and he was like a taxi driver for these two girls, right? I forget what it was called. God damn it. Both, there was good things in both, but they kind of dropped the ball towards the end. Like Night Shift was probably the stronger out of the two, but all of a sudden vampires are like, oh, they're not deadly, right? And you're just like, wait, what? How is that? Anyway, it's not that, right? This isn't a vampire flick. It's something even more sinister, right? Essentially, we're dealing with toxic love, right? Toxic love, which is always just a difficult one, right? Just because I think a lot of people have experienced it, right? And so it's uncomfortable. But there's so many things you can do with it, like with this, because now we're dealing with a time loop, right? And I think we've had films that deal with relationships and time travel, right? I mean, Time Traveler's Wife, that was a big one. Eternal Sunshine, right? And Eternal Sunshine is a similar kind of thing in some regards, right? Because it's trying to fix a relationship and the whole erasure of the mind and all of that kind of stuff, right? About Time, it's a great one. And there's always these things in them that kind of, so you can't do it repeatedly, or there are consequences for the actions, you know what I mean? And this one, yeah, this one's real because, like we find out early that Billie, god damn, my mind just went, I think I've got Billie's issues, man. My mind just went whoop. But we find out that she's been experiencing these blackouts, and there's a history of Alzheimer's in her family. Her mum had Alzheimer's, so she's worried about this. This is on her mind, right? She's having relationship issues. You know, we straight like early on, we have the a friend telling her like, just don't go back. She does not treat you well, right? So there's all of these things going on. But when she meets Alex, right, you just feel there's something about Alex, right? There's something about it is kind of forceful, the approach. You know what I mean? But then some of the things that she says are like, huh, what does that mean? Right? It's just about the word play that has you suspecting something, but you're not quite sure what it could be. And there's these weird things that happen, like when she goes for runs and stuff like that. There's like certain things happen. And so it's very intriguing. Then we realize, oh shit, there's a time loop situation going on, right? As then we're replaying certain scenes over and over and over again. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, how is this happening? What's going on? And it is an interesting way that they do all of this, right? They bring you into this kind of story. They create this concept, right? That brings it all together, which makes sense. As the story unfolds, you're like, we get all these breadcrumbs and everything like that, and it makes sense. It becomes really dark and sinister and just intriguing because it's just, how will they resolve it? You know what I mean? Because I mean, there's times in films when like this thing's happening and someone has to try but it's always a bit like, I mean, that person's away too long, or there's no way they could do that in that time, or I don't believe they'd work that out just like that. It's all a little too easy. So this one, it's not easy. Like the resolution is not easy. And then we also, there's, you wonder, right? There's stuff you wonder about, and they do the right thing. I will say they do the right thing with the ending, right? Because you're just like, yeah, I don't think anyone would believe it if it went the other way. So yeah, this story, it's a slow build, right? It's a slow build because you're laying that groundwork into who these people are and what the situation could be, their lives, and all of that. So the payoff is very good. It's a really good payoff. I think we get some really good performances from our cast here. You know, I think the the way they create this whole vision situation and the blackouts and yeah, the way all of that comes together, really good. I think they opened the film the right way. I think it's just put together very well. I think I did enjoy this film. It was just like, yeah, I wasn't expecting it. Wasn't expecting it. I enjoyed it. Something that just irritates me a little bit is around, like, when you Google the film, it's just being sold on a queer psychological film, right? And I'm just like, listen, yes, our lead characters are girls, right? They're in a relationship. That's not the story, though, right? It doesn't, like, this would be the same story whether it was, you know, girl, boy, right? Or boy, boy. Like, the sex of the characters doesn't really matter. It's the situation. You know what I mean? It's this thing. That's the story. So I feel it's like, I don't know why you have to try and sell it on being an LGBTQ other initials film, right? I don't know why, because you're saying that this is just a gay film. It's not. It's a really good psychological thriller, right? That's what it is. And it just so happens characters are gay. You know what I mean? Like, I think we need to stop with this bullshit. A story is a good, like, a good story is a good story. You know what I mean? The other labels you want to throw on it don't really matter. It's a good story. That's the big thing. So it is out on Hulu, and it will be Disney Plus internationally on that Stars little bump. You know what I mean? So yeah, people, I will definitely say this is worth a watch, right? If you like stuff like oh man, like The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, Single White Female, if you like those films, now cross them with An About Time, An Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind, right? And then you get this. So yes, if you like those films, I think, people, you will dig Jagged Mind.